Okay, we're going to start on our next video, and in this video we're going to be talking about editing line features in ArcPRO, and specifically we're going to be talking about modifying vertices, that is moving the bends, if you will, in lines. We're also going to be talking about adding lines, and we're going to be using two modes for digitizing lines, a single vertex mode and a streaming mode. And then we're going to be talking in the final video about deleting lines and splitting lines. So you're going to see really three videos in this sequence. And the specific tasks. Now let's take a look at what we need to do. The first one about modifying vertices, we're going to be looking at our river systems. And what you're going to notice is that the rivers were digitized at a very coarse scale, and so they're going to be very rough. And we're going to improve those by adding vertices and then following a base map. Once we've done that, then we will, in the next video, we'll be adding lines, and we'll do that to the Monongahela River. And then also at a finer scale, we'll be doing what's called streaming digitizing of a small 9-mile creek. Then lastly, we'll split off the Ohio River. And so we'll do that in 3 different videos. So let's get started. Okay, so here we are in our ArcPRO environment. And again, I've zoomed in to, I'm going to hide this. I've zoomed in to Allegheny County, and what we're interested in here is this river initially. And what I've asked you to do is to improve it relative to the base map. And you'll notice that here's the river, and one of the things that we can kind of find out about it is that the river right now, if we look at it, kind of starts at roughly the right place, but it's a real straight line all the way to the end of the county. And what I'd like you to do is improve that by adding vertices along here and changing its shape, if you will. And so again, in ArcMap, remember that things are always available for editing if you turn them on that way. So remember, I'm going to go to my pencil here, list by editing. And what I need to make sure is now that my rivers and my streams are available for editing. So I'm going to do that first. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my edit options, and we are going to be working with a modify feature instead of create feature. And so the way we're going to do that is we're going to go to modify, and then what we're going to choose is our vertices. And that's the tool we want to do. And what we want to do is make sure in our modify features that we have selected that stream. So we have it selected, and when we click on vertices now, you'll notice that the vertices show up. The other thing that you're going to see then is in my modify feature, my vertices, I want to be able to put those in and out of it. And right here are my vertex tools. And I'm going to move this a little bit, but we can add vertices and subtract vertices. And so again, I've set my scale to 1 to 300,000. That's what I want here. And when I look at this, I say, well, okay, I know that I'm going to need a vertex here. And I'm going to add a couple of these. Again, we're going to use the Add tool. And I'm going to click there. And I'm just going to add a couple of vertices along here, because I know I'm going to need those to kind of fit the line. So I'm just going to go along it, and we will add those vertices. Now, once I've done that, then I can begin to, in terms of the drag tool, so now I'm able to select one, and I'm going to take this vertex and I'm going to kind of move it up and down here. What I want to do though next, and I'm going to hit check, and again, that means that I've kind of saved those vertices, and so now again my line is selected, and I'm going to modify features. And again, we're going to use the vertexes. And now what I want to do is I want to be able to move those. Okay, that's the idea here. Is what we want to do is, if you'll notice, we have 3 options here. We can drag a vertex or segment. We can add a vertex, or we can delete it. So if I look at this vertex right here, for example, I want to move that a little bit in this direction. So I'm kind of moving it up a little bit. And then I'm going to take this next one, and I am going to zoom in a little bit here. and I'm going to try to lay these in where they should be. That one's okay. This one though, I'm going to have to move it up a little bit to here. And I'm going to do the same to the next one. And I'm going to do the same to the next one. And one more here. And so in this way I have modified my vertices at least as far, and I'm going to add one more because what I want to do here, and I want to make sure that this one is right on the edge of this. And on that one I'm going to drag it down a little bit farther to about there. And so now I've got at least a somewhat better fit. Now this is the only other one I want to do. I'm going to take this one right here, and again I'm going to edit my vertices here, and this is the one I kind of want to move and get it a little bit better. There. So now that I'm done with that, I'm going to click on my check here, and that says to finish my editing. And now my line's in better shape. And so that's the first thing that I wanted to do, is move vertices. So I've added vertices and I've moved them. Now of course I could have deleted an additional vertices if I didn't want it. I look at my line now and I say, you know, I still want to add a couple of vertices into this, and so again I'm going to go into my modify, and we're going to select our vertexes, and I think I want one more right about here. I'm going to add another one in there using my select tool, add. I've added a vertex, and now I'm going to move this one, and that looks a little bit better, and again I'm going to go and finish it. Okay, so that's the first part of this. We've added vertices, the equivalent is deleting them, and we have moved our line feature so that it does what we want it to do. In the next video we will talk about adding a new feature class.